14, 13 votes.
Georgia.
12 votes.
Hawaii.
12 votes.
Illinois.
Say it again. 18 delegates, 39 votes.
Indiana.
9 votes.
Iowa.
8 delegates. Iowa.
17 votes.
Kentucky.
7 votes.
Louisiana.
7 votes.
Maryland.
12 votes.
Massachusetts. Michigan.
Myself and 18 delegates.
You only had 17 on your delegates list,
Samantha registered late, but she doesn't count in 17.
and that's at 31 votes.
Thank you.
Mississippi.
6 votes.
Missouri. Minnesota.
33 votes.
Montana.
11 votes.
Nebraska.
11 votes.
New Jersey.
3 delegates, including me.
4 delegates.
6 votes.
New York.
9 votes.
North Carolina.
2 delegates!
Thank you, North Carolina.
13 votes.
North Dakota. North Dakota. Ohio.
2 delegates.
13 votes.
Oklahoma. Oregon. Pennsylvania.
3 delegates.
13 votes.
South Carolina.
We have 7.
14 votes.
South Dakota. Tennessee.
We have
12 votes.
Texas.
9.
20 votes.
Virginia.
5. No, they did it in the morning show. They had like a sing dance. We showed out fast. Me and Lisa were out there.
All right, we have 396 total votes on the floor. 199 is a majority, 264 is 2/3.
Thank you, IED Dawn. Moving into approval of the agenda, can I get a motion to approve? First by Mississippi, second by California. Any discussion? I have an addition to the agenda. After right before the National Vice President election, we need to add the first timer award, and then the debate right under hired novice and master awards, and then they will speak, the novice and master will give their speeches. Right before the MVP election. I need a motion for that. Iowa and NBC New York. Any discussion on that? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Any other discussion for the agenda? All in favor for the amended agenda? Opposed? Motion carries. Sorry, I thought you were going to say something. All right, we have the minutes from the September 29th, 2018 meeting. A motion to approve them. First by Nebraska, second by New Jersey. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, recognition of special guests. IED Dawn.
Thank you very much. We have several special guests in the room today. Let's start with your American Development Council Commissioner from JCI USA, the state of California, Neil Fitzgerald. Your JCI Vice President assigned to Europe, Jay Johnson. Representation from the Foundation, Scott Bryant and Raj Nakarni. Your Senate Liaison, Rob Ray. And your Senate
keep going. And I don't know the words. Okay, music.
Sorry about this, I did make a formula error and I just verified. The total votes on the floor is 385. Majority vote is 193. 2/3 is 257. I apologize, Excel did not help me. It is simple math, but I was using Excel.
Good thing he's good at math, he's calculating everything. All right, we have a huge thing coming up next year called Celebration of the Century. Past President Jim Ray, would you like to come up? There you go.
Who is ready to celebrate an amazing event? Technical difficulty. There we go. The celebration of the century, 100 years in the making. Ah, there we go. We'll see how well this works. I have a time limit, I know. In 1920, January of 1920, a group of young men from chapters across this country came together at the organizing caucus and created the United States Junior Chamber of Commerce, what we now know as JCI USA. In our 100 years, we have had projects that have impacted our country. Projects like JC's Wake Up America. Lighting Mount Rushmore. Get Out the Vote, and so much more. Projects that have impacted for 100 years. We have been so impactful, we have had national presidents of the United States of America attend our events. And in fact, President John F. Kennedy stated it was Harvard that gave him an education, but it was the Junior Chamber that gave him an education for life. President Lyndon B. Johnson visited national conventions multiple times, including the one in Baltimore, Maryland. And so now, 100 years in the making, our celebration of the century. It is an opportunity in a lifetime that you are members, that we are alumni during this event. An opportunity that cannot be passed up. From 1920 to 2020, the past to the present. What divides us is less than what brings us together. We are stronger together. And while the words may have changed, what has kept us and held us together for 100 years is our mission. And that mission, as I said, the words may have changed, but the meaning has always been the same. To provide development opportunities that empower young people to create positive change. Simply stated, leadership development for community engagement. Those words have resounded for 100 years. And so now it is time to celebrate. And of course, because we are the JCs, we don't just have a party, we celebrate with a purpose. We have a purpose in everything we do to uphold our mission. There are so many opportunities as members, as chapters, as the states, as a national organization, as alumni, as senators, to get involved in this celebration. So many ways that we can take advantage of this phenomenal event and bring momentum and excitement, even more than what we have today, even more than when we saw people in shark costumes and troll costumes, that we can bring to our communities to make an impact. Impact 100 projects. These are projects that make sure your chapter can put into your plan of action today for 2020. Projects that will impact at least 100 people in your community. Meet with your local government officials, talk with them, identify those problems, and be the JCs that find the solutions in your community. Build out projects that have an impact. Engage other organizations to help assist solve those problems as well. And make sure that you are emailing 100 anniversary at jciusa.org to register those events. Those projects can be big projects, such as in Waldorf, Maryland, with the adaptive playground that was built to ensure that all children of all abilities can run, walk, or roll to play softball together. Or they can be smaller projects, such as backpacks and filling backpacks with school supplies, or filling them with food for children who are at-risk children, ensuring that they have a good foundation for a good, solid education. All that matters is that the clicker works, and you can see the next slide that says we impact at least 100 people in our communities. Because if every single chapter does this, imagine the impact we will have in 1 year, celebrating 100 years with an amazing and phenomenal impact. And a nod to our friends in JCI Canada who developed, and we are assuming this project as well, 100 awesome people. 100 awesome people is encouraging your chapters and your states to reach out and find and identify people in your community. 100 people in your community to interview with a predetermined list of questions. Talk to them, find out about them, highlight them on your social media sites, highlight them on your websites, and use them to identify new resources in your community. And those resources, those elements and those interviews can lead to finding meeting spaces, event spaces, working to find supplies for your events. You can use it to build new projects, find membership. It might not be of-age folks that you're interviewing, but it could be people who know others. It could simply be just the amazing people. So it could be memberships. It could be new project ideas. It could be potential Toya recipients. And of course, it is the way to build a network to ensure that we are uniting all sectors of society. So impact 100 projects, 100 awesome people. Make sure you take advantage of the press opportunities. You heard many people talk about this during all of our candidates' caucus. Press releases tied to the 100th anniversary build so much more momentum. Take advantage of that. Your chapter may be 6 days old, it may be 100 years old, such as St. Louis JC's. But every single one of you is part of a movement that has been here for 100 years. And that is something that when you talk with the press, is amazing and something that they can latch onto. It's also something that as you go to government meetings, you can also talk to those individuals. Talk about the impact. Work to get resolutions for your chapter, for your community, for the impact that JCs have had in your communities and in your states. Meet with every level of government. Meet with your local government, meet with your state government, but talk about 100 years, the celebration of the century. The momentum that we build with this celebration is a momentum that will carry us through 2020 and beyond. Use the social media. There will be social media, a lot of social media coming out about the celebration of the century. Podcasts, interviews, photos, history, facts. Share it across your chapters, share it across your states. And of course, I know I don't need to tell those in the room, but those who are watching live, come to national meetings and events. Because every single event that the national organization has will play into the celebration of the century. This is a year-long celebration that this committee has been working hard to prepare for. So at State President's Retreat, at Leadership Training University, at the cruise, at next year's fall annual meeting, every single event will be a part of this 100th anniversary, and each and every one of you, as a member, as alumni, as senators, have a place in the history of our organization and should make sure to attend every single event to get the most out of this celebration and this organization. Become a sponsor. We absolutely want people to become a sponsor because that is what will help make sure that we have the greatest celebration ever. And don't worry. That website, that's going to be on another slide as well because, we want to put it out there quite a bit. There's also handouts being provided. But you can become a sponsor at numerous levels of this organization. It's something that, as a member, should you only have $50 per se, then $50 we will take all the way up through $5,000. And of course, if you happen to be on a conference call and you offer that to give maybe $10 million, we will happily name the Coletti level in your honor.
Give us an example.
And I wrote notes. It's in writing.
She did.
But I also have no problem bargaining with people if perhaps I happen to pick up a name badge from the welcome party. And I could have auctioned it off, but I was given a time limit, so I will be very respectful because there's a lot of business. Instead, I approached President Karina Townsend regarding her name badge. And I did ask her, would you be a good sport? And she said yes. And of course, talked with her board. So Karina, for your name badge, I will happily accept your board approved, because fiscal responsibility and transparency in all of our organizations. Your board approved name badge, or your board approved sponsorship.
Woo!
And while they're not the first sponsor of the celebration of the century, they are the first at the $500 level. Thank you. And for anyone else who'd like to move your name badges around, feel free. All of a sudden, everyone's checking their magnets now. As I said, I'd show that website again because
Metro Director Adam just found it. He decided to donate $1,000.
well, thank you, Metro Director Adam. And we confirmed it because it's got to be in writing. It did come through.
I have the email receipt. We got it.
Thank you very much. I mean, I can stand here and take money should you want to. Thank you again, and please go onto this website. You have the flyers on your table now as well that talks about every single sponsorship level you can do as a chapter, you can do as a person, you can do as a state, you can do as your state foundation, you can do as a National Senate organization, you can do as a board of directors, you can do as a national executive committee. Whatever way you like to dice up your groups, we will happily accept your money as sponsorship for what is the celebration of the century. Including, I'm really displaying this so that you see it longer. We would not be who we are if this celebration did not include a membership goal. Our goal, starting on October 1st this year through September 30th, 2020, is to be plus 100 members as a national organization. 100 members stronger as a national organization. And the reason it starts on October 1st this year and goes through to September 30th next year is that so no one team is in this on their own. This is a team effort for our entire organization. Each of you as state presidents today, those who have been elected for next year, this team and the team that will be elected shortly here at General Assembly all have a vested interest in this goal together, working together to ensure our next 100 years are even better than our first 100 years. And of course, with the celebration of the century, 1920 to 2020, we needed something very special, a special logo to represent this organization. Individuals were asked, members of this organization were asked to submit logos, and each of you and many others had the opportunity to provide your input into it. And we had a logo that will represent 100 years in the making. Are you ready to see it unveiled? For the celebration of the century.
Submitted by Lee Snow. Please stand up for the few ladies in the room.
In June of 1985, President Reagan attended the General Assembly and stated, "They were and are a very special group of people. They're heroes who live at the frontiers of American life. They are people who behold in the dawn each day a dream far away to strive for and win. There are men and women who laugh at folly and fear, and who see setbacks not as excuses to quit, but as spurs to struggle and sweat even harder to carry on. They are JCs. They stand for the opportunity, and they're leading the economic comeback of the United States of America. This was true in 1985. This was true in 1920. This is true today. JCs are the leaders in our community, continuing the commitment to better communities, to building leaders, and to building a better tomorrow. We celebrate our 100 years of the past, but more importantly, this celebration is a building of momentum and excitement to lay the groundwork for a foundation for the next 100 years to be better, brighter, bigger than ever before. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 100th anniversary of our organization.
Thank you, Past President Jen. Okay, we are moving on. Nothing but next reports. Wendy Simmons. And we are going to have you go to that podium so that you work better over there.
And as JCs, we learn from every experience.
Yes, a learning experience.
Hello, JC. So nice to be here with you all, and you've been all so welcoming, and it's been great to celebrate the beginning of your 100-year anniversary. So thanks for having me. As mentioned, my name is Monty Dimas, and I'm the program officer at Nothing But Naturally UN Foundation, and we're so thankful that we get to partner with you year after year to spread awareness about malaria and just continuing to stay engaged in the fight. So we're going to give you an update today on what we're doing. All right, so raise your hand if any of you have ever, if any of you this past summer or this past month went camping, if you've done anything that's actually like outside related, been outdoors in any way. Awesome. How many of you got bit by a mosquito during that time? Yes. I wait on the bus in DC and I get bit by mosquitoes all the time. But the good thing is that I don't actually have to worry about getting malaria from those mosquito bites. I'm thankful that you guys don't either. For half of the world's population, this is actually a concern. But when you get bit by a mosquito, that it can actually lead to death. Very light mood here at 9 a.m. For approximately, and this means that for approximately 1,500 cases of death, 1,500 cases of malaria, and then 5 death cases in the U.S., and most of them are actually from people that are traveling back from other countries that are coming back to the U.S. Alright. So approximately 1,500 malaria cases and 5 deaths are reported in the U.S. annually, mostly from returning travelers, and this is the reason why malaria needs to be eliminated, because as long as it continues to exist in other places, it continues to be a threat to the U.S. It continues to be a threat to our armed forces that are stationed around the world. So this is something, and it's also important because it kills a child every 2 minutes. So it's super important for us to just stay engaged as Americans in this issue. And again, the reason that it's important for us as Americans to
$100 donation. All right, we move to the finished remarks. President Lawrence.
Greetings from the United States JCI Senate. I would like to thank President Tricia, the JPI U.S. Exec Group, fellow senators, and JC members for allowing me this opportunity to speak to you today. The U.S. Senate is a group of 7,500 people that have been honored by local chapters and states for their senatorship. Give me the opportunity to divert a few moments and ask all senators in the room to please stand. Thank you. This is the highest honor that a JC can receive internationally. We are here to assist you. We are here to help you with those goals that you have. We're here to help mentor you. We're here to help train, and we're here to help with recruit. But we're not here to run your organization by any means. I'm very pleased when I listen to the candidates talk about purpose, and they talk about goals, and they talk about plans. Any organization requires these things. That's why my theme this year is people, purpose, and passion. You have people here, but without a purpose, they are lost. You cannot all agree upon the same thing. Look at our political system right now. We do not agree on everything, but there are a few common ideas, a few common goals that we can agree upon. Seek out those things that you find in common and strive to accomplish those. When those 29 groups met 100 years ago, they did not agree upon everything, but they did agree that they needed an organization to train young leaders. They needed a group that could impact their community. They needed leaders. So that was their purpose. They had the passion, they had the drive, and they had the commitment. They did not know what was going to happen from that meeting in St. Louis. All they knew, they had a vision. The national organization here needs to have the same. It's no different today than it was 100 years ago. The only difference, the world is very much faster. It's a whole lot more technologically advanced. I'm going to divert a moment to when I was at JC. Yes, a lot of us joined because that was the only way to meet people in your community. That was where all the young business leaders were. Yeah, we had rotary phones. You know, try texting on one of those if you would. But today you have a whole lot more challenges. You have more communication tools, but you are less connected when you communicate. You have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and a whole host of other ones I haven't even ventured into and won't. But you are not as adapted face to face. I encourage you to reach your fellow individuals out there. I challenge you, just think, you have 100, 200, 300 people here this evening, walking around the hotels in the community. I know there's of people here that are not JCH. Have any of you invited a stranger to join your organization? Take the opportunity, when you walk up to someone, if they look JCH, ask them about it. Give them the opportunity. That's all you need to do. Give someone the opportunity. A few years ago, someone gave me the opportunity. And I, in turn, tried to express that to other people. You cannot grow unless you give people the opportunity to join. We are the greatest free spirit kept. We are very good at keeping our organization to ourselves. I encourage you to go out and venture away from that. Spread, join, ask people to join you. They can only say no. Then ask them again. Ask them again. Before I joined, a good friend of mine asked me over a year to join. Finally, I paid the dues to get him to shut up. Look at me now. So, when you ask somebody once or twice, don't give up on them. Because if you believe in this organization, if you have the passion for this organization, you can achieve much. Again, we are here to help you. We are not here to run your organization. You are amongst us. Our survival depends upon you. If there's anything we can ever do to assist you, just let the senator, let me, let my board. You have our liaison, Bob. His wife is kind of biased, I guess, applause for her. But Jen is also our social media dog. So we are using you as soon as you age out of this group. We can put you to work for the rest of your life. Thank you, Trish, for this opportunity. I don't want to take up too much of your time. But I learned as I grew up a couple of things. Never visit anyone without bringing gifts. That way you will always get invited back. So on behalf of myself and the family, thank you for your And the Senate is not above bribery also. I would like to, on behalf of the U.S. Senate, give you a financial contribution to whatever the exact thing said.
Okay, thank you. Anthony's happy we got money. And you know what? I'm happy because Joanna and Anthony donated $1,001. One side note, the password Wi-Fi is OmniGuest is what you log into, and it's JCI 19, all lowercase for the Wi-Fi. You guys need it? JCI 19. Okay, moving on to foundation remarks. Raj. There he is. It's okay, Raj. We can stand and collect more money while we're, just kidding.
How's everybody? Hey, Jennifer? Where are you? I can't see you. There you are. Here's my 100 people in your community. Welcome to Texas. You guys are from California, right? Coach Crockett. Most of you guys don't know him. He's been to more conventions than all of us combined. He joined in 1943. And Lawrence, yes, he was a senator, and he was a four-number senator. He actually knew Henry Kissinger. You think that I would know him, but I'm not. He is the largest contributor to this organization. I mean it big time. He's been contributing since the early 60s. And it's not $5 or $10 or $500. He's the largest contributor not just to the JCs in monetary, but in his, he used to take flights, he used to be a pilot. And he used to fly JCs back and forth if they had to get somewhere, just because he said he would. He broke his back when he had a flight, his plane crashed. And he survived for 3 days. But he got back out and started doing it all over again. Now, Moten is a little bit shorter than I am, or was. And some of the people down here and on this stage have met Moten. He asks the same questions every time. He wants to know your numbers. And it's mainly he wants to know the health of the organization. And what I can see is you have a lot of passion here. Now, the foundation had their meeting 3 weeks ago in Austin. And we have been contributing $100,000 to your organization on an annual basis. And we're continuing to do that. There are restrictions of everything, mainly just reports to tell us how you spent your money. But the more exciting thing I think that you guys would really like to know is that we've also taken a different step, not just with the national organization, but you guys in your hometown. We're looking at getting a funding mechanism, a grant situation, down to your chapters, down to individuals. We're not talking about $10 or $15, but we're talking about $500 to $2,500. That can make a major impact in your communities, which is, again, one of the things that Jennifer's talking about. It's the same thing that Lawrence is talking about. It's the same thing that your next person was talking about. It's something that you guys can get involved in. And just like everybody else, I mean, we want to say thank you to Joanne. We got a donation from her earlier this, Friday. And Adam is an annual contributor to the foundation. I'd ask you guys, do you want to see this organization continue for another 100 years? I don't have fancy clicking things for your I don't know about computers very well. I have a camera that can answer the phone. That's loud. But I ask you, we go to the USJC Foundation website. You can donate online. It's through PayPal, so we don't get to see your credit card. And you can do as little as you want. You can do it as much as you want. If you want, and this is for Jennifer and everybody else out there, you can actually dictate where you want that as a restricted fund. If you want it to go to the celebration, you can do that. And we won't take any administrative charge, we'll just pass it through. So you actually get your 501c3 tax designation on that also. So I want you to consider funding or donating to the foundation. And think of yourselves as the lucky ones, because you are the 100 awesomest people in this state.
Great. Update. Past President Jeff Link, $1,000. Thank you. Staff, $1,000. Thank you.
1,003, I just did another $3.
Oh, $1,000. And
You understood the process, and I appreciate that greatly. That process couldn't have happened without my committee, so as I announce you, please rise and let's give a JC clap for them. From Illinois, Gabby Kress. From Florida, Genevieve Hall. From Minnesota, Gwen Lavovich. From Michigan, Jerry Fairman. From Texas, Pat McLaughlin. Thank you very much for your service to our organization on the Credentials Committee. You guys did a wonderful job. And I'm proud to report that we had 149 delegates, 145 of which is on the floor. Not bad, because there was a lot of partying going on last night. And 90 chapters were represented by the delegates on the delegate list. The committee had selected 65% of the delegates to be credentialized, which is a high standard. And because of rounding, because we did not cut anybody in halves or quarters, we actually we credentialized over 100 delegates. So we can safely say that the delegate lists were in good shape. So with that, I would entertain a motion to accept the credentials report. I cannot. Montana, and I heard of Michigan. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. Election Committee report. Legal Counsel Peter.
You know, it's always difficult going after Anthony because he always reminds me of things that I should do, like look at what states my members for my election committee were from. So, I would like to start. Yeah, seeing the screen from the podium was not as easy. But that being said, I would like to thank my committee members, specifically Mike Birchler, if you could please stand. Emily Knock. Tyler Hiranaka, Nikki Troll, and Michael Holiday. All of you worked hard to make sure that the caucus went very smooth yesterday. I was told that everybody was in bed at the proper time last night, and I am not aware that there were any fines or sanctions or damages that have been done by the candidates. I appreciate that. Anthony does not, because he would like to keep your money. But,
or to go to the 100th century and celebration.
So keep that in mind when I donate your damaged deposits to 100.
Sponsorship.
That being said, I am very pleased to announce that we do have 7 candidates that are certified for MVP. Trey Jenkins, Joyce Andres David, Anna Price, Margot Dickinson, Jackie Quaist, Brandon Williams, and Danielle Fields. We have 1 candidate that is certified for Deputy National President, Jay Johnson, and 1 candidate that is certified for National President, Justin Whiskey. With that, I would like to entertain a motion to approve my report and close nominations.
Michigan.
Moved by Michigan, seconded by West Virginia. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you, Peter. Next up is the bylaw changes.
I feel like I'm still here.
Yeah.
All right. Our first bylaw on the agenda is bylaw section 6.7, which is adding the DNP as a voting member to the Bylaws and Policy Committee. Do I have a motion? Moved by Nebraska and seconded by Montana. Any discussion on 6.7? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of bylaw 6.7? Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. Oh, I have a gavel now, look at that. And I'm going to steal it, sign. Bylaw 6.8 is for the Finance Committee, that is adding the DMP as a voting member to the Finance Committee. Do I have a motion? Moved by Kentucky, seconded by Hawaii. Any discussion on 6.8? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor of bylaw 6.8? Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. Section 9.1, which is the selection committee for the executive director. This is the bylaw that we chopped apart a little bit yesterday. The exact proposed language is on the slide that came out of the board yesterday. Do I have a motion? Moved by Georgia, seconded by New Jersey. Any discussion? Okay, good. Seeing no discussion, all those in favor of 9.1? Aye. Any opposition? The ayes have it. 9.5 was the staff positions section of the bylaws. Do I have a motion? Moved by Virginia, seconded by Delaware. Any discussion on 9.5? Hearing no discussion on 9.5. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. And last, we have section 9.6, which is the removal of the executive director. Do I have a motion? Moved by Florida, seconded by Minnesota, waving so I can't read. Fair enough. Any discussion on 9.6? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor of 9.6? Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you very much for passing the bylaws. I do believe we are working and getting us back on schedule with that. But we do have some policies that did pass yesterday. These are for informational purposes only. Specifically, policy 3.2 was regarding the minimal chapter requirements. That was more of a housekeeping, getting the minimal chapter requirements in line in the policies with the bylaws. Section 7.3 was a policy that passed setting a set number of days prior to the annual meeting that candidates can announce. So MVPs will be able to announce 90 days prior, and President and DMP will be able to announce 120 days prior. 8.8 was adding the DMP to committees that they were not already part of. 9.1 was changing some of the administrative responsibilities for the executive director, just changes that we thought we should do before we hire a new permanent executive director. 11.2 was changing the job description
You're on live.
Shit.
You're on live.
No, nobody needs that. Nobody needs that.
Can y'all hear me? Type hello if you can hear me. Thanks for watching. No, you.
5 hours now, so we're good. All right, adding to the First Timer Award, MVP Heather.
Could all our first timers stand up that are in the room? So yesterday during the kickoff of the program, Thursday during the kickoff of the program, I challenged these first timers when they got their packages to make sure that they returned them, because a lot of times they come to that first meeting, but they don't come back to the second meeting. Well, I just want to tell you that we had 20 people participate on the first day, and we had 16 packages returned to us. So thank you so much for taking that time with us. The winner of our first timer is Miss Katie New from North Platte, Nebraska. In the restroom. She is from Nebraska. So congratulations to Miss Katie.
Thank you, MVP Heather. We can get a picture with her after the meeting. She's in the restaurant. Okay, now we have our debate write-up for hired novice and master. PM Lisa has done an amazing job. Come on up.
All right. Yeah, good morning. All right. Good morning, JCI USA. My name is Lisa Shipley. I am the chair of the Awards and Competitions Committee. This past Thursday, we had a training about awards, but yesterday we did competition. So I would like to announce my team. We have Christie Johnson from Maryland. Come on up. We've got Brianna Orland from California, and we have Sarah Austin from Michigan. By the way, it's Christie's birthday, so make her happy birthday. Promotion of competitions. We've talked to your chapters and your states one-on-one. We've also put out creative flyers with tips and tricks about each of the different competition categories. And we've helped you actually establish competitions, not just at your chapter level, district, but also at your state level. So congratulations to all of you that have been working very hard to increase your professional development at the lower levels and work your way up. As I mentioned yesterday, we had competitions for Speak Up, You're Hired, and Debate. A few weeks before conference, though, we held a write-up competition, which is all electronically done. At this time, I'd ask that all competitors, if you're in the room, please stand up to be acknowledged. I'd also like to add that regardless of how the results came out, I'd like to make mention that each of these individuals, I commemorate them for doing the best that they winning writer for the write-up competition. The topic was, if there was one aspect you would change about JCs, what would you change? And explain how you feel or why you feel that your idea should be selected. The winner of the write-up competition is, drumroll, Serena Bird from Next up, we want to honor our Speak Up Novice House competitor. The Speak Up category is judged in 2 rounds. First with a prepared topic. First with a prepared topic, which they receive 2 weeks before competition takes place. And then day of competition, they receive their impromptu round topic. Oh, I didn't realize we had slides. My apologies. Okay. All right, so next up we'll do debate. This year we had representation from Michigan, Georgia, and Florida.
Yeah.
The topics covered a broad range from environmental impact to mandatory amount of volunteer hours for everyone, term limits for electoral officials, and financial aid requirements. The top 3 competitors from our debate team actually are eligible to go on to Conference of the Americas and or World Congress. So we'll be working with them to continue to develop those skills and prepare them to move forward to that international level. Our winners are, in no particular order, please know from Columbia, Georgia, Molly Morgan from Jacksonville,
Good job, Jones. Good work, Jones.
You're hired. All right. So, You're Hired competition is an avenue to develop employment skills in a digital age. These competitors had to submit their LinkedIn profile for evaluation, an elevator speech advocating for JCI USA, and an in-person oral interview for a hypothetical job interview at a nonprofit executive director position. The winner of our Your Hired competition is Genevieve Hall. Next up now, we have the novice speaker. The category, as I was kind of mentioning before, is broken down into 2 rounds. First is the prepared topic, which they received 2 weeks prior to competition by email. And then the second one is impromptu, which they received day of, and only have about a minute or so to prepare for it. So it's all done on a whim. The novice competition is in honor of Dwoward House, probably said his name wrong, my apologies. He's the past president of JCI USA from 1930 to 1931. House is known as the father of the 10 outstanding young Americans Americans program, which we will have the honor to be acknowledging later today. The topic was, or one of the topics was, what is the most pressing task to teach any new JC? Without further ado, the honor goes to Paige Lee from GCI Staples, Minnesota. I'll also make mention that our novice competitor, Paige, is now eligible also to travel to Conference of the Americas. I said that if she were to win for that, she'd be able to move on to World Congress. And last but not least, we have Master Speak Up. The Master category, we have the same exact setup. So they have a prepared speech, which is given to them the week before, and then they do an impromptu round on day of. One of their topics was, I want to inspire people. I want someone to look at me and say, because of you, I didn't give up. The Master Speak Up topic winner is Lisa Bradley. According to our manual, which they were informed of before they even competed, so this should not be any surprise, with our novice and master speak up winners, they are able to present to you their prepared speeches from competition. So, first we'll have novice winner,
Hello, my name is Paige Link, and I'm here today to present to you on what is the most pressing task to teach any new JC. So you signed that new JC, what's the next step? Now it's time to educate that new JC as to why we JC. It is my firm belief that when a new member joins the organization, we need to discuss the concept of why from the get-go for them to have the best experience possible. Today I'm going to discuss with you the concept of why via the Golden Circle by Simon Sinek, as well as some alumni and current JC why testimonials, and will leave you with my why. In September of 2009, during his TED Talk in Puget Sound, Simon Sinek gave a fantastic talk on why is important, and first introduced us to the Golden Circle. He came to find that all great and inspiring leaders and organizations around the world all thought, acted, and communicated in the same way. Directly operating this way correlated to why some were successful, standing out above the rest. He then codified this into what is called the Golden Circle. The Golden Circle is made up of 3 rings, an outer what, a middle how, and an innermost why. He stated that successful organizations use this tool working from the inside out. The what is simply just that, it's what you do. Every organization out there knows what they do. This is things such as the services they provide or the products they sell. The how, now that gets a little trickier. Knowing how your company does things. It's the things that make your company special and stand out from the competitors. Now, the most important part, the why. Why is something that very few organizations truly know. Why do they do what they do? Money is often misconstrued into being a why. Making money is not a why, it is a result. What I'm going to tell you next is the most important concept to grasp. Your why is a purpose, cause, or belief. It's the very reason your organization exists. Organizations spend a vast amount of time and resources trying to figure out their why. The important thing to remember is that our why must be strong, so that when life happens, and we all know it does, you have the strength to keep pushing forward and get back into the ring again. Cynic says to be inspiring, we need to work in the reverse order. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Now that I've discussed the concept of why with you, I'd like to give you a couple examples of why JC is JC. Recently, I posed the question to some current and alumni members as to why do you JC? I was both humbled and overwhelmed by the amount of responses I received. Many JCs stated they joined to gain leadership skills. A number of them also stated they joined to network and meet new people. They were looking for an organization that would get them more involved in their communities. Some said they enjoyed the impact that their projects were creating in the community, with a few of their members also stating that they do it because it's family tradition. Speaking of family tradition, I spoke to a member in particular who stated that she and her sister were third-generation members, as their grandfather and uncle were members. Watching her grandfather and Uncle JC as she grew up, she became excited when she was of age, and at which point she and her sister then became the first female JCs in their family. This story is only one of thousands that our members have, and this is a perfect example of Simon Sinek's why. We should be sharing more of these stories with our new members to encourage them why we JC. I encourage you to share your why with others and ask those around you their why. Now I'd like to tell you a little bit about my why and why I JC. Before joining the organization in March of 2017, I was looking for volunteer opportunities in my community. I felt like I wasn't giving back enough and that something was missing in my life. It took 2 months before I found my way to the JCs, and in May of 2017 when I joined to make my community a better place. Today, I still JC because of a strong sense of purpose to keep creating positive change in my community. Having seen the fruits of our hard work, the impact we've made, and the lives we've touched, I feel truly blessed. Thus, it pushes me to keep working harder, to encourage other like-minded individuals around me, to empower those around us. By continuing to serve together and solve the problems in our community, I truly believe that service to humanity is the best work of life. In conclusion, I'd like to think that Simon Sinek really had something when he made the golden circle and he broke it into the 3 rings. The outer what, the middle how, and the most important, I feel, the why. Our why is our vision, and a vision is what leads leaders. However, if we do not first educate our new JCs as to empower, recognize, and have a strong why, the what and the how simply fall apart. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Thank you all for being here, and I'm so happy to get to present it to you today.
I don't know about you, but I have to say this is a real personal development thing for me. So all of you can go home and tell your friends we do build leaders, because I defeated at my state, and I'm standing in front of you here in Texas. So thank you as well. So the topic for Prepared Master Speak Up was essentially boiled down, what would you say to an active JC that has now been discouraged and burnt out? So today I want to start by giving you a little bit of a walk down memory lane. So think about a Christmas gift, a present that you received, something that was really meaningful to you, something you asked for, something you waited for. Maybe it was a toy as a children, maybe it was an iPhone when you were older, something that you wanted so badly. When you opened it, you got it, and it was so exciting. Think of that. Do you have that memory in your head? Now think of the day you opened it. It was just a fabulous day. You told everyone, look at this present that I got. Now let's flash forward to a year later. Where is that? Where was that gift? Where did it end up? Is it on a dusty shelf somewhere gathering dust? Is it in a box in the basement? Maybe it's in the trash. Maybe it is so far gone out of your memory, you don't even know where it is anymore. Well, that exact path, I want you to equate to your JC experience, to your JC career. Think of the day that you joined the JCs. That day that you were so excited. You joined the JCs, you joined this organization, it meant so much for you. And then what happened over your JC career? A year later, are you still just as excited? Do you still have that same passion that you did that first day? Well, I want to invite you to make a mental list, a literal list. We're JCs, we love lists, so however you want to do that, feel free to do that. But I want to walk you through 3 different exercises that we're going to go through today. First is I want you to write down why you joined. Exactly why you joined. What was your motivation for joining? Okay? Number 1, it may have changed. It may not be the same today that it is from day 1, but that is your motivation. Number 2 is I want you to make a list, mental list, physical list, of projects that you chaired, that you volunteered in. You volunteered, you attended, you were part of the planning, you were part of the board of directors that executed it. You're a part of the actual day to make it happen. Maybe you just were support along the process because you couldn't show up that day. That is your impact. That right there. I'm sure everyone in this list, whether everyone in this room, whether you've been a member for a little bit of time or a long bit of time, will have a long list of projects on that list. That is your impact. Take that and multiply it by everyone in this room. Third thing is make a list of all the friends and acquaintances and connections that you gained as part of this organization. Now, many of you, I know, even in Michigan, there's many of those connections. Many of you have gained a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a spouse, so hopefully they came to your mind first when you're making your list. But if not, I won't tell, that's fine. But that is your support system right there. Even after this weekend, we're going to gain a bunch of Facebook friends, pen pals, friends that we didn't have when we walked in. That is your support system. So, when we think about when we get discouraged, when we get burnt out, I want you to always come back to those 3 things. I want you to come back to your motivation, why you joined. Remember that. I want you to come back to your impact. It may be small. You may have just been pouring beer, but you poured beer to make money to go into your community. That is your impact. Third is your support system. Your support system is here to help your chapter, but most importantly, to help you succeed in what you do. I have a huge support system here from Michigan. Yes, Michigan, to make sure that I have a great weekend. And the fact that I'm up here, this is an amazing experience, I think demonstrates that. Your support system is going to be there as long as you are on this earth, whether you were a JC or not. So when you get burned out, when you get discouraged, always come back to those 3 things, please. Come back to your motivation. Remember your impact, and remember your support system. Always reach out to them, and always rely on them. Oftentimes, we forget about those 3 things. We lose sight when we get so busy and caught up in the day-to-day things. And so I hope that as all of you are going through this weekend and are motivated and are supported by this system, that you can go back to your own chapters as well and share this tip with them as well to help others who are discouraged and burnt out. So thank you so much. Thanks.
Update sponsorship, $1,000 from Mr. Scott Bryant. All right, National Vice President election. Who's excited? Legal Counsel Peter, are you ready?
All right. First things first. The national vice president elections have been slightly confusing in the past because each state gets to vote their number of votes 6 times. So, real quick, are there any questions on the process and the procedure for this before we get started? I can give you a quick example if you'd like. Yes, okay. So let's take California, for example. California has 10 votes. They get to vote 10 votes 6 times. So, California can vote, but you cannot give one candidate more than 10 votes. So California could give 6 candidates 10 votes each and leave one candidate off the table. They could give 5 candidates 10 votes each, and then the remaining 2 candidates give 5 votes apiece. So you can vote for everyone. You could take your 60 votes total and divide it by 7 and give each candidate that percentage as well. You just can't go above your number of votes per candidate. Does that make sense? Yes. Does anyone have any questions on this process before we get started?
Just a request from the person that is tabulating all votes. Please vote in the order of the candidates on the screen so I can get it into the spreadsheet fast. Thank you.
And speak up. Fair enough. Okay. Sherry, do you have a question?
No, I have the microphone. Just waiting where to go.
So, for the random draw of the states, you're going to be running around the room? Fair enough. So, without further ado, I'd like to welcome the 7 national vice president candidates to the front of the room in front of the current MVP table. At this point, I will entertain a motion to elect the national vice president candidates.
Motion!
Moved by somebody who's shaking their placard in the back that I can't read.
North Carolina!
Moved by North Carolina, second by Florida. Without further ado, we will randomly call on our states. Texas.
Where you at?
20 votes for Joyce, 20 votes for Margot, 20 votes for Danielle, 20 votes for Trey, 20 votes for Anna, and 20 votes for Miranda.
Also, the candidates are welcome to return to their seats, especially since it's coming about to vote. All right, Mr. Claudio, are we good? If you can, when we call on you, wait for the microphone just to make sure we can all hear. And we will go with West Virginia.
Where are you?
Right here.
8 votes for Joyce, 8 votes for Miranda, 8 votes for Danielle, 8 votes for Trey, 7 votes for Anna, 1 vote for Margot, 4 votes for Margot, 4 votes for Jack.
Call Margot twice.
So Margot's 5 total. Oh, you do it again? Yeah.
How many for Jackie?
4.
What?
Just for clarifications, now mine's not working. All right, you have 8 for Joyce, 5 for Margot, 8 for Danielle, 8 for Trey, 7 for Anna, 8 for Miranda, 4 for Jack.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
Wyoming.
Eight votes for Joyce, 8 for Margot, 8 for Danielle, 5 for Trey, 8 for Anna, 3 for Jackie, and 8 for Miranda.
North Carolina.
13 votes and a prize. The end.
Hawaii. Delaware time back.
10 votes for Joyce, 10 votes for Margot, 10 votes for Danielle. 12 votes Joyce, 12 votes Margot, 12 votes Danielle, 12 votes Trey, 2 votes for Anna, 10 votes for Jackie, 12 votes for Brenda.
Delaware. Louisiana is on deck.
Six votes for Joyce, 6 for Margot, 6 for Danielle, 6 for Trey, 6 for Anna, and 6 for Miranda.
Seven for Joyce, 7 for Margot, 7 for
Wait for Chris, if I can be ready.
I'm sorry.
Louisiana.
7 for Joyce, 7 for Margot, 7 for Danielle, 7 for Trey, 7 for Anna, and 7 for Miranda.
Mississippi.
6 for Joyce, 6 for Margot, 3 for Danielle, 6 for Trey, 6 for Anna, 3 for Jackie, 6 for Miranda.
Montana.
7 for Joyce, 11 for Margot, 11 Danielle, 11 Trey, 4 for Anna, 11 for Jackie, 11 for Miranda.
South Carolina.
14 for Trey, 14 for Danielle, 14 for Margot, 14 for Anna, 14 for Joyce, 14 for Miranda.
I can't see the order. Please, as you're putting your lists together, and make sure you're following the order that's on the screen. So just make sure that those of you who have not called on yet, you're putting your list in the order of the screen would be helpful. We good with South Carolina? Yes. Washington.
6 votes for Margot. Which order?
Go in order, please.
Sorry.
Illinois.
Votes for Joyce, 39 for Margot, 39 for Danielle, 39 for Trey, 18 for Anna, 21 for Jackie, and 39 for Miranda.
Virginia.
For Joyce, 13 for Margot, 13 for Danielle, 13 for Trey, 7 for Anna, 6 for Jackie, 13 for Miranda.
Pennsylvania.
For Joyce, 13 for Margot, 10 for Danielle, 5 for Trey, 10 for Anna, 7 for Jackie, 10 for Miranda.
Wisconsin. New York.
9 for Joyce, 9 for Margot, 6 for Danielle, 7 for Trey, 9 for Anna, 5 for Jackie, and 9 for Miranda.
Kentucky.
7 for Joyce, 7 for Margot, 7 for Danielle, 7 for Trey, 7 for Anna, and 7 for Jackie.
Indiana.
6 for Joyce, 9 for Margot, 9 for Danielle, 9 for Trey, 9 for Anna, 3 for Jackie, 9 for Miranda.
Florida.
Good morning from the great state of Florida. 13 for Joyce, 13 for Margot, 13 for Danielle, 7 for Trey, 13 for Anna, 7 for Trey, 13 for Anna, 6 for Jackie, 13 for Miranda.
California.
10 for Joyce, 10 for Margot, 10 for Danielle, 10 for Trey, 10 for Anna, and 10 for Miranda.
Georgia.
12 for Joyce, 12 for Margot, 12 for Danielle, 12 for Trey, 12 for Anna, 6 for Jackie, 6 for Miranda.
Iowa.
Our votes are as follows. 17 for Joyce, 17 for Margot, 17 for Danielle, 11 for Trey, 11 for Anna, 17 for Jackie, and 11 for Miranda. Thank you. Go Iowa, beat Minnesota State. Minnesota State.
Maryland.
12 for Joyce, 12 for Margot, 12 for Danielle, 12 for Trey, 12 for Anna, and 12 for Miranda.
can cast the following votes. 31 votes for Joyce, 31 votes for Margo, 31 votes for Danielle, 31 votes for Trey, 31 votes for Anna, 0 votes for Jackie, 31 for Miranda, although we did consider removing a point for taking a moose.
Minnesota.
All right, 33 for Joyce, 33 for Margo, 33 for Danielle, 33 for Anna, 33 for Jackie, 33 for Miranda, and Iowa. We don't care about college football, we got a professional team.
Tennessee.
Twelve for Joyce, 12 for Margo, 12 for Danielle, 12 for Trey, 12 for Anna, and 12 for Miranda.
Nebraska.
11 for Joyce, 11 for Margo, 5 for Danielle, 6 for Trey, 11 for Anna, 11 for Jackie, 11 for Miranda. Rhonda, go Big Red!
Ohio.
13 for Joyce, 13 for Margo, 13 for Danielle, 13 for Trey, 13 for Anna, 13 for Miranda.
New Jersey.
6 for Joyce, 6 for Margo, 3 for Danielle, 6 for Trey, 3 for Anna, 6 for Jackie, 6 for Miranda.
Has legal counsel made a mistake and missed anyone?
I'm sure you did.
Or red star. Or green star.
Give us a moment. Please welcome with me your elected 2020 National Vice Presidents, Trey Jenkins, Joyce Andrus David, Anna Price, to our Deputy National President election. I would like to entertain a motion to elect our Deputy National President.
So moved.
Moved by Michigan, seconded by Kentucky. Our Deputy National Candidate, Jay Johnson. Are we ready?
Yes.
Microphones. Virginia.
No.
Oh, are we? Okay. Is there a motion for to elect by acclamation?
I move to vote by acclamation. Second, Minnesota.
Moved by Michigan, seconded by Minnesota. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
No.
Fair. Well, the division's out of order because the motion to acclamation has to be unanimous. It wasn't, so. Fair enough. We will move forward with the roll call. Right. Clay, you ready? Virginia.
No.
Well, to be clear, you have to give your number of votes. So if it's 0, give 0. If it,
Sorry, 0.
Pennsylvania. Yes. Wisconsin. Uh, 14 yes. New York. Kentucky.
Seven yes.
Indiana.
4, yes.
Florida.
Present.
To be clear, we don't need to be going yes or no. You just need to be giving the number of votes for the candidate. If your answer is you don't want to vote for the candidate, then that would be a 0. Florida?
Abstain.
And an abstention is a 0. Because we need 50% plus 1 for the candidate to win, just so we're basically there. For the purposes of electing the candidate, you need 50% plus 1, so abstention doesn't change the percentages, correct, Mr. Clay? California.
5.
Georgia.
Zero.
Maryland.
12.
Michigan.
1. million votes for JC. If that's not allowed, I'll take the maximum allowable, 31 votes.
Minnesota.
33.
As a yes, correct.
Correct.
Thank you. We're in favor.
Nebraska.
0.
Tennessee.
12.
Ohio.
13.
New Jersey.
6.
Texas.
0.
West Virginia.
8.
Wyoming.
5.
South Carolina.
0.
Montana.
1.
Mississippi.
6.
Louisiana.
0.
Delaware.
3.
Hawaii.
12.
North Carolina.
13 votes.
Washington.
0.
Iowa. Iowa.
3.
Illinois.
21.
Has your legal counsel missed any states? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your 2020 Deputy National President. Mr. Johnson, the podium is yours.
Oh, God, really?
So first of all, I just want to say thank you very much. This is an organization where people have the opportunity to voice their opinions, and the opinions were heard today. And I do appreciate the fact that people felt comfortable in voting their conscience. I tell you, I will work hard to ensure that you know that I will do everything in my power to make the next year the best possible year for everybody in this room. There is absolutely nothing more important than to earn the respect and the votes of my colleagues in the future, and I want to say thank you to those that have supported me. Thank you.
our national president election, I would like to entertain a vote to vote by acclamation. Moved by Montana, seconded by Minnesota. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? That being said, by acclamation, all those in favor to elect our 2020 national president, Justin Whiskey. Aye. Aye. All those opposed? Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020...
Thank you, everybody. Today, we witnessed democracy in action. You used your voice, and we heard you. It's okay to respectfully disagree with one another. We protect the voice of the minority, but enforce the will of the majority. What has happened, and while it's okay to acknowledge those feelings and emotions, they won't stop our vision and forward progress we will make tomorrow and the next 100 years. I encourage all of you, if you have a passion and a drive in this organization, to step up and let me and the team and the future leaders and the current team this year, let us know your ideas and your passions and what you can offer the national level so that we can make sure that this organization is to continue to thrive for another 100 years, because we want to empower all of you. Just wanted to get that off my chest as we start today. So, I am humbled and honored to have been elected your 100th national president. I want to say a huge thank you to everyone. I want to thank my friends, loved ones, and family for allowing me to live a life of possibility and opportunity. Thank you for all the sacrifices you endure while I invest time in this organization and supporting the development of myself and my fellow members, which includes all of you in this room. You know who you are. I want to thank the Village JCs for walking the journey with me from day one. I want to thank members across Montana, Wyoming, and Colorado who have allowed me to feel at home no matter where I am living or working across the Rocky Mountain front. Your love, listening ears, and overall support is priceless. I want to thank my advisors, Shameen and Cliff Plum, as well as the one and only Misty Miner, who introduced me to this organization and the potential it could have to grow me and develop me on my wildest dreams. Woo! I also want to thank the members of the Great American Institute and our chair, Karen Stillsbury. Thank you for all of your advice and support over the years. I want to give a huge shout out to my campaign team. Will you all stand up? And thank you for all the hard work and being there with me this whole time that we've been running the campaign. I want to give a shout out and gratitude to my fellow president-elect of JCI Canada, Stefan Shermaniak, for building a strong bond and friendship to help ideas share and collaborate to make a better leadership experience for each of us to support our JCI teams. Lastly, thank you all the members across our country and planet who inspire me and motivate me to strive to create positive change and work my best to share this organization with as many young people as possible. With your belief and faith in me, together we can change the way we view what the JCs is all about and why we JC. We want to more closely mirror the mission and vision of 100 years ago, where civic leadership and empowerment were the cornerstones of our founding fathers. I want to simply define this message so you too can share it with others. I'm going to make it simple for you. I developed a 3-step plan. 1, create a plan of action. I'm not talking about a plan of action for your chapter.
I'm talking about one for each and every single one of you. Evaluate your current life and decide where you want to be in 3 years. Write down action steps that you can take through your JC's membership to achieve your goals, and then take action on those steps. Take time with one another and guide each other through this process. Empower one another. 2, passport to civic leadership. It's our roadmap for being a well-rounded member. We will update the tasks to be more engaging and help members grasp our true cultural brand. We will create a next-level passport to build high-level leaders, mentors, and future iconic members of society. Make it fun, make it competitive, enroll everyone. And 3, the civic leadership certification. The roadmap for our chapters to become extraordinary groups making impact together in our communities. Enroll your chapters in this program. It's a recipe that will make your chapter successful. I guarantee it. You don't have to use all the ingredients, just use what applies to your capabilities. The tools provided in this checklist will make your chapter successful. Your chapter will be relevant. You will have people wanting to knock down your doors to be in your chapter. Enroll. So let's recap. 1, create a plan of action for yourself. 2, passport to civic leadership, personal accountability as a member. And 3, civic leadership certification, group accountability. If we focus on these 3 steps, we can realign our true cultural brand and see true success. It's not going to happen overnight, and we all need accountability, including myself. But we can do this together. Utilize the JCs as the vehicle for life skills and purpose. When we connect with people, sit down with them, assess where they are, and show them the way to success through our organization. This is integral to our collective success. If each of us take time to take these 3 steps, think of how beautiful our lives will be. Thank you again for electing me your 100th National President of JCI USA. With your individual success, we can all be successful together and continue on for another 100 years and beyond. As I mentioned a year ago when I handed out my vision lapel pins, everyone here and everyone out there in the world on Facebook and doing their things that are important right now, you have a right to your vision and goals in your life. Never let anyone take that away from you, and go after it. Thank you very much.
Okay, a few more things and we will be done. We have a first-timer winner. Caitlin McNew out of North Platte, Nebraska. Okay, we have some
When we come back, we'll also have information for 2020. So stay current on the Facebook pages, in the chats with your network. And if not this year, we hope to see you next year.
We have State President's Retreat, our President-elect Justin.
All right. State President's Retreat is going to be in St. Louis, Missouri at the Hyatt Place in Chesterfield, Missouri, specifically near JCI USA headquarters. It's going to be December 5th through December 8th. The state presidents will travel in Thursday on December 5th with greetings and welcome event with our ex-con that evening, followed by 2 days of intensive and immersive training. So our 2020 state presidents will lead with solid plans of action and tools to make success in our Vision 2020. You will depart the morning of Sunday, December 8th. All information is online on jciusa.org under events to register your incoming state presidents for 2020. It's a free registration, and otherwise you just need to cover your travel to St. Louis. And let us know if you have any questions. We want to support you getting there, no matter what challenges you may be facing to get there. So thank you.
Thank you. LTU?
Yes, and LTU is evolving and taking a cue from our international academies. In an effort to connect our members with international members, we are bringing them to us. In a collaboration with JCI Canada and other future leaders in this room, we are developing an experience like no other in Washington, D.C. It'll be January 16th through the 25th, and more details and registration is coming extremely soon. Our committee just needs to finalize some things, but right now on our current website, jciusa.org, if you go to events, there's some information there, but keep checking back and we'll make sure and email this out so that you guys are all aware in the next few weeks that it's available in time to get our members registered for it. So thank you very much for that.
We have our 2019 year-end meeting cruise, Vanessa, COC.
Before we hop into the cruise, I do have one housekeeping note for tomorrow. If you're planning to take the airport or the hotel shuttle to the airport, stop by the front desk and let them know the time so they can properly accommodate and get us all there in a organized fashion, hopefully. We all hope there's our flights or anything like that. So, the cruise. My lovely assistants over here passed out some flyers. It will be a 4-day cruise leaving from Miami on Friday at 3 o'clock, and we will spend a day at sea and then a day at Nassau, Bahamas, returning to port at 8 a.m. on Monday. We're going to be arranging some land accommodations as well for Thursday night, so you can arrive early and spend the day in Miami, board the ship early, those kinds of things. We will have registration open soon. We have to dot a few I's and cross a few T's, Dawn does yet. So soon you'll see that, but start saving up your money. The price is on that sheet for you, and if you have any questions or anything like that, in the meantime, please see Dawn or myself.
2020 Conference of Americas, Chief of Staff Rhonda.
Thank you, President Tricia. So as many of you guys may know, we do 4 conferences. JCI, as an international organization, does 4 conferences around the world each year. The conference that typically a lot of us would go to, and our conference, is the Conference of the Americas, and that's going to be in Panama City, Panama, this coming May. Historically, we haven't had the best attendance at Conference of the Americas, and we would really like to see that change. Panama is known as a little Miami, is going to be really easy to get to. They use U.S. dollar as their currency, and Panama City is known as the Little Miami. So I think it would be a great opportunity, if you haven't had the chance to get to a conference, that this would be a great conference to try to get to. To make and encourage more participation, we're going to put together a similar package like we do for World Congress to help make the budgeting for this a little easier. So we'll be presenting that and getting that out later. You'll have the opportunity to do some monthly payments that would cover your registration and your hotel. And then you would just be responsible to get down there and find your flight. Or I guess you could drive. I wouldn't recommend it. It's gonna be a great time. I'm probably a little biased, and Deputy National President-elect Jay might disagree, but I think the Americas are the best region. They definitely know how to party, and they love to dance. So I would really love to see all of you here, especially Paige, since you can be competing and representing us there. We'd love to have you there. And Molly, Samantha, and Lee, our newly formed debate team, you have the option of competing at one, or like either at Conference of the Americas or at World Congress, or both. So we would love to put that together too and have a great big crowd there to support you as you compete. Thank you very much. Thank you.
One little side note that I did want to say at our World Congress this year, we do have the IDP candidate, past National President Heather Murdoch. Okay, first I want to take some time to thank some people around. Caitlin Dobbins and Jerry Bierman, there you guys are, our minute takers for the last day. Armina, JCI staff, there she is. You guys are for Chesterfield. And I want to thank Vanessa for all your hard work. Dawn, thank you for everything that you have done. And Anthony here, you guys have done a great job at everything, keeping us all in line to make sure that we can get people elected and have money in line. Thank you. And thank you for everybody here. We wouldn't be able to have this convention if it wasn't for everybody that is in this room. We have people that's viewing on Facebook Live, and it's great to have that as well so everybody can see what happens, but it's great when you guys are actually here in attendance to actually get to feel it and get the excitement and see what happens. And like President-elect Justin said, I mean, we all have a voice and it can be heard, but after that we all can come together and work together with everything afterwards. It's hard to believe that a year ago I was standing up here just getting elected. It feels like yesterday. Time flies. So you guys make sure you make the most of that. You don't know when last day is going to be or anything like that. We find that out every year when you have somebody that passes. Raj talked about that this week, about we had a member that passed. So just make sure you guys make the most of it. Step outside of that box. I say that every day. If you are comfortable, that means it's good, but step outside that box and get uncomfortable and do something new. I mean, Paige coming up here to speak today, I mean, that was amazing. Your speech was great, and I hope you do keep moving forward. We have a new group of fellows coming in. There's so many opportunities with the organization. You guys, how many of you guys, I mean, you're going to meet over 200 people this weekend that you're going to have those Facebook requests, and you're going to be friends, and you're going to be looking forward to the next state president's retreat, or the LTU, or the convention, or anything like that. There's so many more things that you guys can do, or I'm going to see all of a sudden somebody's going to the Minnesota convention, or they're going down to the Florida convention, just to like go to different states to see their friends that they made. That's one of the big things. When I joined this organization, I joined to do community service. I stay in this organization because of all the people that I meet. It's one of the greatest organizations that I know, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. Next year, we do have a huge celebration of the century. Jen Ray's doing a great job, so thank you. Yes, but make sure you guys get out and see what everything's happening. We're here for 100 years. Recruit. Ask those people to join. I want to see us here in another 100 years. And then just keep moving forward. Don't forget to ask those members to join. That's one of the best things you can do. I've had a member before that said, I was just never asked to join. If you don't ask, you're not going to get them to join. All they can say is no. It didn't hurt anything then. Yes. You keep asking, right? And use your mentors. We all have mentors. I know I rely on some older members, graduated members, to help me through things. Sorry.
More seasoned.
Graduate. But no, use your mentors. They're here to help. We have advisors here to help. Anything that you guys need, if you have questions, you have burnout, everything happens. But make sure you guys lean on those people, and they're here to help you and to advise you to help make the right decisions, or just to give you advice, or if you just need to call them to vent, do that. Whatever you need to do, make sure you use them and work together. We all have different minds and different goals and ways of life, but the best thing we can do is work together. We may not agree on everything sometimes, but as long as we can work together to get the thing accomplished, we can do it. Sorry. But, so make sure that you guys are working together and we can finish the year strong. My heart is membership. It always has been membership. That's where I'm going to say, ask those members to join and go Cardinals. Thank you guys. I have, oh sorry Parker. Dawn has some announcements.
Thank you. Okay, a couple things for the rest of today into this evening. At 12:30, we will be having lunch over in the Corpus Christie ballroom. It is a plated lunch today, which is different from tomorrow, so please go in, have a seat. Yesterday. It will be different from tomorrow because we'll all probably be on a plane. It's been a long week, guys. Actually, it's been a long 2 weeks because a week ago I was at the Canadian National Convention helping them with theirs, came back home, came here, and yeah, I have no idea where I am. Anyway,
Love you, Dawn.
Corpus Christie. Okay, lunch, 12:30 today in the Corpus Christie ballroom. It will be a place of lunch. The Toya honorees will be joining us. Thank you to those of you again who took them out to dinner last time. I know that they really appreciated that and appreciated the hospitality and the camaraderie. Immediately following lunch, we will be back in here for the Toya Roundtable. This is your opportunity to have one-on-one time with those Toya honorees to find out what it is that they're passionate about in the communities and how we as JCI members can help contribute to their cause, can maybe create a new project or work on an initiative, extend the initiative and the work that they have already done in our communities and across the country. So I really want to see this room just as full at 2 o'clock this afternoon as it is now. And those 10 Toya honorees are amazing individuals, and we don't get the opportunity to have that one-on-one time very often. So please be back in here at, I think it's 2 o'clock. At 2 o'clock, immediately following lunch, back in here for the Toya Roundtable. There will be a VIP reception, cocktail reception. If you are invited to that, you will be either have received an invite or will be receiving it at lunch. That reception is back in this ballroom this evening. Dinner will be back in the Corpus Christie ballroom, same place we're having lunch today. And then we will be having the after party. We will be celebrating hashtag JCIUSA100. And I'm told the past president Jen Ray and her team have some party favors. So, if you want to kick it off, you better be there, or you're going to miss out on the fun. But 1:45 is the Toya Roundtable. Okay. Tonight for dinner, there will be a cash bar. There will be 2 bars. They take cash and credit card. You cannot charge to your room. So please have either cash or a credit card with you if you want to buy alcoholic drinks or beg somebody to buy one for you. Also, just, guys, I'm sorry about my announcement. Just hang with me a couple more minutes. The dinner tonight will again be a plated dinner, of course. We are serving pork. There were only 2 people in when we asked for dietary restrictions that said no pork. So the But what generally happens when you serve pork is all of a sudden people become instant vegetarians. If that happens, it will slow down the entire process, and you will be waiting probably 45 minutes to an hour for the kitchen staff to all of a sudden make these new special requests that didn't exist on the list that Vanessa and I worked very hard to put together and give to the hotel ahead of time. Print out all your little dietary restriction tags so that everybody doesn't die and has the appropriate food. If you have a problem, allergic, religious, having pork for dinner, please let me know at lunch, other than the 2 people who have already told me, so that we can make accommodations for you this evening and not slow down the entire dinner process, okay? Thank you. I appreciate your cooperation on that. Last thing, for the after party, once we get into that, and I know you guys will be going back to your hotel room, circulating through the suites again, please, 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 please try to control the noise in the hallways. Last night, we got several complaints from the hotel, and hotel security was circulating. I was getting texts from the hotel at 11 o'clock, 11:30 last night. And, they understand that we're here, but we have to be respectful of the fact that we're not the only people here in this hotel. There are lots of other people here. They do have a policy. There's a little sign at the front of the elevators that actually says no guests allowed, external guests allowed in the hotel after, I think it's 10 p.m. on the sign. And quiet hours begin at that time. So just when you're wandering through the hotel this evening, please try and keep the noise down in the hallways. If you want to party and hang out and have a good time, stay in the ballroom. We'll be there until 1 a.m. with Andrew as our DJ. Everybody thank Andrew for being our DJ here together. And that helps us as an organization. It helps our reputation, our business relationship with this hotel, with future hotels that we go into. So I really appreciate you guys being respectful, having a good time, but being respectful of the regulations. And the last thing, when Ron was talking about Congress of the Americas, the website is in English. If you go to it and you see it in Spanish, up at the top right-hand corner of the webpage, there's 2 little flags. There's a UK flag and a Spanish flag. If you click on the UK flag, everything will turn to English. And then you can read it, all right? And also registration is only $3.99. Is the early bird special through October 31. So you have a whole another month to register for early bird registration for Panama City if you are interested in that. I think that concludes my announcements. Did I forget anything? Okay, fantastic. See you all at lunch. Enjoy the rest of the day.
We're not adjourned yet. I think we got Iowa and Michigan. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? I need President Danielle. Dean, sorry, come up to adjourn.